Hey, it's Denise, and yes, I have sunburn. It's not just the lighting. I got sunburn. Um, okay, so welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, welcome back. Those of you who have, um, always appreciate watching my videos. Uh, you know how I have my thing about if someone's wearing a funny t-shirt, I hate if they're not letting you see what it is. If you're a SpongeBob fan, you know Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy there. So, for my fellow SpongeBob lovers, wearing the SpongeBob stuff today. What I want to talk about is just kind of to show you some of the things that I've mentioned in previous videos and some new favorites. In terms of, now with Percy's very limited diet, I have ordered just a couple days ago, I ordered yet another brand of dog food that we're going to wait and see if she's able to eat it. If you've never gone through the frustration of trial and error with a dog who has IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease, it can look for the first 2 weeks like everything's going great with the dog food, and you're like, oh yeah, they're eating it, it's going well. And then at 2.5 weeks, all of a sudden, the diarrhea comes back. You've got a dog with an upset stomach again. Your hair turns gray. No, that's been happening for a while. Like I blame that on the ex-husband. It's not the dog's fault. So anyway, when you are limited and you want to keep your puppy happy and engaged, she's in the other room, you can hear her making her opinion heard on being in the other room. She was just hanging out in here, and she just had dinner. Now, at this point, we're off dog food, so dinner is consisting of ground beef that is cooked. Now, I don't just cook it in a frying pan. I actually put a few inches of water in the pot first. So I'm basically almost like making ground beef soup, in a few inches of water, which really drains more of the grease off it than it would if you just fried it in a pan and put it in a strainer, colander, you know what I mean. So I get as much of the grease off it as I can. And if you haven't watched a video where I've talked about this, I make up like those disposable but reusable like Gladware, like plastic containers. I make up a container with a day's worth of food, and it gets split up over 5 meals a day. So in a day, she gets 2.5 cups of cooked ground beef, a cup of real Greek yogurt, which is high fat, high calorie, low lactose, and so she's got protein. I personally use Cabot brand because it meets all those criteria, and it's just yogurt. There's no sweetener, there's no coloring, there's no nothing. It's just yogurt as plain as Greek yogurt can be. And being that I don't know what ingredients and some things that can seem like, oh, that's in everything, like carrageenan or annatto, which are used like as thickeners or as colorant, are in tons of human food, and we think nothing of them. But for all I know, they could be something she's reacting to. So when I looked at another brand of Greek yogurt, first of all, they didn't have plain. They only had, in the large containers, they only had vanilla. And if it just had vanilla in it, I might have seen if we could try it. But it had the carrageenan and sugar and annatto and like all the stuff that I don't know if any of those things are the problem, so I'm not going to introduce multiple new ingredients into our diet. So we are on beef, a cup of yogurt, a cup of pumpkin puree, a cup of unsweetened applesauce, a few teaspoons of nutritional yeast, which is really for flavoring, not for nutritional anything, in the amounts that I'm feeding it to her. It just gives it a more savory taste as opposed to a fruit and veggie taste, which she prefers. And she gets a doggy as simple as I could find after looking through many doggy daily vitamin. She's growing and doing great, but I wanted to share with you. I've mentioned some of the things, when you can't give your dog all the treats and goodies and stuff. Like my beagle is 15 and can eat anything. I've mentioned Jay before. All of the snacks that come in the subscription box, generally speaking, Percy gets the toys because Jay's deaf. He's going to be 16 in a month. He's been deaf for 2 years, so he really is not interested in squeaky toys anymore. So he gets the edible goodies out of the boxes, and Percy gets the toys. Extra toys, because I do buy her extra toys all the time. This guy she loves. I try to keep it interesting with the toys because you do want to encourage a lot of play. It's been so hot and humid out that getting outdoor exercise is pretty much impossible. You can't even breathe out there. This guy, if you can hear him, makes a much different noise than your average squeaky. We've named him Honky, or Honk Honk. Sometimes just refer to him. If you say, "Oh, honk honk," she'll run over to her pile of toys and get this. She knows that this is the one that makes the... First, I wasn't sure if it was an oink or a honk. I mean, he's a hedgehog. Never met a hedgehog, in person for more than 2 seconds. And it was nowhere near this big. So, I do know pigs. I've raised potbelly pigs. So to me, it was like an oink. But... we went with honk, and she seems to get a kick out of that. It's just a different tone, as opposed to, now this is one of her other current favorites. This would be Squeaky Snake, which you can see is very long, and each segment of its body has a squeaker in it. So it's almost like no matter where she picks it up and bites it, she's pretty much guaranteed that it's going to squeak, except the head, which is flat, where his face is. But this is huge, and she gets a big kick out of just kind of carrying it around. As far as edibles, the only dog biscuit I have found that she can eat are these. We had tried the brand of dog food, the dog food that they make, and again, it was one of those, I really thought we were going to make it. We were over 2 weeks that gradually introducing it into her food, and then the diarrhea started again. So there was something in the dog food that she couldn't eat, but the dog biscuits, as you can see, I'll show you the back, have just very simple ingredients, very, very few ingredients, and she's able to eat these with no problem. So this way I'm able to give her a little treat between meals, because that's another thing, is if her stomach's empty for a long time, like first thing in the morning, if we're just getting up and going for a quick, potty break, and it's not necessarily breakfast time yet, I'll give her maybe 3 of these just so she doesn't have an empty stomach, and we don't deal with her throwing up because she has an acidy stomach from her stomach being empty all night. So these are about $7 a bag. I order them from Chewy. I'm sure other places sell them. I don't remember if it's PetSmart or Petco. One of them, I think, carries this brand, both the dog food and the biscuits as well. But so far, these are the only, let's see the ingredients there better. These are the only commercially made anything that I've found that she can eat. So I love these. I just bought 3 bags because I figure if I'm paying for the shipping, I might as well buy a few at a time. And I don't want to run out. Speaking of another, and I've thought about this in previous months, but it's a lot of money. Bully sticks I talked about in the last video. So we won't talk about what part of the bowl they are made of again. Just, use your imagination about what word I wouldn't be using. And when I looked at the price, they sell them in a 3-pack. They sell them individually. Or you can buy them. This is considered a case. There are 25 of them. And this was $90-something. And you might be like, holy whatever. $90-something. But they're almost half the price. They come down to about $3 each this way, whereas they're $5 and change when you buy them in the 3-packs. If you get the full size curly. I mean, I know these are like tangled together like spaghetti in here. It's hard to really look at one. But I finally was like, it's one of the few things that she, is allowed to have and can enjoy because it is a beef product that doesn't have anything added to it. And I'm buying them anyway at the higher price. So I went ahead and I ordered the larger bag. And again, this I got from Chewy.com. I went ahead and I ordered the larger bag. It's a lot of money to lay out up front, but in the long run, I'm saving money because you really do get a much better price per bully stick if you can afford to lay out the money up front. So you just have to resist giving her more of them, giving them more often because you're like, oh, I have plenty left, and remind yourself, hey, those things cost a lot, and I don't want to go through them in 5 minutes. So, yeah, that's really where I'm at, is, she has a grooming appointment next week, no vet appointments in the near future. The vet had said, again, just let him know updates when we try the new food, if there's any success. Wow, I really am sunburned. If you've seen many of my videos, I'm pretty much usually pale as a ghost, and yeah, I did myself in. So, yeah, entertaining her, whether it's with toys or with the couple treats that I found. The other thing she can find, I forgot to think of them as treats because I think of them as training aids. The Pupford brand is what I buy. Single ingredient, freeze-dried training treats, so they're like itty-bitty little pieces so that during a training session you can give a lot of them. Obviously, I give her the beef ones, which are beef liver, and I give her the sweet potato ones because she has no problem with sweet potato or pumpkin. If your dog's not allergic to everything, they also sell chicken, rabbit, salmon. I'm trying to think of the other flavors it comes in. They sell it in numerous other, training treat size little tiny pieces. Those I keep in the pouch that I have on me when I walk her to train her when she's being, reward her for good behavior. So, yeah, it gets expensive if you're on a budget and, looking for sales and or looking for ways to buy stuff in bulk. This toy was on sale and it's huge, and I knew she'd have a lot of fun with it, and she does. So keeping an eye out for sales, looking at places where you might not expect. Sometimes you're waiting in line at Tractor Supply and you'll see on an end cap that they have, sales on dog toys or leashes or collars or, whatever different items that you need to buy anyway from time to time. And they're so twisted. I'm trying to get them to separate out. I guess it's not like one of those. This is like you get an idea of the size of them. So yeah, and I can smell them. These are definitely, not the deodorized. This is like the natural. So but she loves these. They're her favorite. And like I said, I feel like what she's able to have in terms of treats and snacks and diet is so limited that to me it was worth it, because I know I'm going to buy them for her anyway, and why buy them at $5 a piece when I can get them at $3 and change, even though it meant laying out more money up front. In the long run, it saves money. So that's what's going on, and that's just some ideas that I have for things that are helping my dog with her sensitive stomach in terms of treats. And, toys are important too for entertaining your dog. Treats are nice, but, praise and playing with toys with you are other things that are just as much a reward, and sometimes the dog considers them a better reward. Like if she's in the mood to play, she'll sometimes turn down a food treat because it's like her way of making it clear, like, no, that's not what I want to play. And she'll like present you with a toy, and she wants to play, tug of war. She wants, she'll give me a tennis ball, and that's her way of letting me know she wants me to throw the ball. So right then, toy is more important, and of course you playing with it is more important to the dog than a food treat. So, you have to go with rewarding in the currency that they feel like being paid in at that particular time. And wow, my hair is a disaster. I apologize for that. I got sunburn and disastrous hair, and yeah, it's it's one of those days. You ever have those days? It's like, and I don't even know what that is. I feel like it's not a zit. It's not a bug bite. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's part of the sunburn whole thing going on. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for watching. And those of you who've been here before, I know that I do sometimes get a little off topic. Thank you for being tolerant. Please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Yes, this would be the shameless begging part of the video. Shameless begging. Please hit the like and subscribe, and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. And that does help get my videos in front of other people who might be interested in seeing the content that I'm sharing. So I would appreciate if you would do that. And thank you again for watching, and I hope you and your fuzzy friend are having a great day. And thank you.